People, we're started. Hey, it's Bradley J. Back for another episode of Bradley J and Marco. Just saying, and I'm just saying, where is Marco today? Where are you at, man?
I'm on my balcony at my apartment, sitting outside. I wanted to switch it up a bit.
Is it warm enough to sit on a balcony today?
No, it's not warm enough. It's very cloudy right now as I give you a report on this Wednesday afternoon. It's cloudy. It was sunny in the morning, but I had to throw on a crew neck to I guess keep myself warm out here. But no, it's pretty chilly outside right now.
Well, you just wanted to be outside today. Okay.
Fresh
Okay.
air, new. It's giving me new perspective for the. I'm just saying, I'm out here just hanging out. I told you asked me what's new, and I said nothing really, just chilling. This is
This is it. This is it. All
you.
right.
You
Well,
start the podcast after work. You catch me at my after my right before my 5 o'clock nap.
he's like an old guy. I should be the one saying I need a nap, man. Just so people know, we do record. We're recording this on Wednesday, and today is Thursday that you're watching it, or after that. But anyway, I do want to say that you got your start off. You got your second shot, your COVID shot. How'd that go?
Went good. Yesterday got it around this time, actually 3 o'clock. 24 hours since. Just feeling tired, honestly. I went to bed at speaking of me being old, sounding old, I went to bed at like 9 o'clock yesterday, in my living room while my roommates were still watching TV. They just so nice of them to just leave me out in the living room and not wake me up or anything. They just let me sleep. So just tired, if anything. That's what the feeling is right now. Have you gotten your second shot yet?
Yeah, it's almost been like it was on the 27th, I think. So it's been like almost 2 weeks. So I'm good to go, man. Good to go. Speaking of the pandemic, and we do Mother's Day is coming up on Sunday. So I want to talk about um, a story I read.
Hmm.
Who's calling me on the phone? I don't know
Your
anybody. I
mother's
know
calling
people.
you.
No, she's not. She knows better. It's not time. It's not time. She calls later. I read the story where it said the average person missed out on 28 days worth of quality time with their mother over the past year that was the pandemic. This is according to a new survey. So I wanted to ask you, how are you going to make up the 28 days that you've missed of quality time with your mother? How are you going to make that up? Are you going to make it up in one day? Or are you going to spread it out over the next 28 days? What's your plans for your mom for Mother's Day and beyond? Since you missed 28 quality days with her.
How dare you just pull that out? You had asked before the show too. You're like, do you just want me to come at you, ready to go with what I got? And I said, sure, not knowing what I'm saying yes to. Um, I'll darn it. Now it's gonna be 28 days. Probably the 28 days one. So I'll make sure to keep count when like if I'm going to lunch with my mom or dinner with my mom or just spending quality time with her. I'm gonna just start counting the days. If it's a non-holiday day that I'm spending time with her, I'm gonna keep track, and I'll let you know when I reach 28 days.
Okay, I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I'm just saying that's just on average. But here's the crazy thing in this story: 80% of people are going to try to make it up on Mother's Day. On Sunday, they're
Wow.
going to try to make up the quality time they missed, the 28 days, all in a 24-hour period. Which I
That's
think is it's just kind of I always think like when holiday because you hear all the holidays, you hear all the marketing behind it. They're just like, hey, it's Mother's Day, 30% off this for your mom, 50, whatever, and and it's one day when you should be every because I try to go back and I'm not saying I'm a saint and I do everything great for my mom because I don't. I'm not
right.
like I try to be the best person I can to make my parents proud. Okay, and so
Mhm.
my mom like I don't call her. You never call anybody. You don't call your friends enough. You don't call your mom enough. You don't spend enough time with your friends and your family and stuff like that. But you do the best that you can. So it's funny. Like people are like, I'm going to make it up all in one day, and it's like you can't make up 28 days in one day. You just can't do it. Don't try it. Just be the best person that you can be on Sunday. If that's the day that you're going to hang out with your mom on Mother's Day, be the best person that you can, and then you just be the best person every day after that for your mom. Don't try to make it up all in one day. That's ridiculous.
I won't knock those people for taking on the challenge because I think that kudos to them for trying to go all out, because we should always go all out on Mother's Day for our moms. As I say that out loud, I'm like, dang, I should practice what I preach.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like you just do the best that you can, and just call it good. Instead of like, oh, I missed out on 28 days. It's like, hey, it happened. The pandemic happened. You got through. Hopefully you got through. I know people lost a lot of loved ones, and it's very sad. When I start thinking about that, it's crushing, man. But trying to make it up all in one day, that's what your mom wants. She raised you to be a good person. Be a good person 365 days a year. Your mom and dad will be proud.
That's it. So you're saying is I don't have to visit them every year. As long as I'm just a good person, then that counts as visiting them, right?
No, that does not count as visiting them. Because if you're a good person and they raise you right, you'll go back to see them because you want to.
Okay, I guess I'm not a good person.
You should go back as much as you can. You know what I mean? I got a voicemail. This is so crazy. When you get a voicemail, here's crazy. When you get a voicemail from a number you don't know, so they left this voicemail that says, "Oh, this matter. If we don't hear from you, then we will be forced to take legal action against you. Press 1 to get connected to a live officer." Yeah, what this matter? I like when they say this matter. It's like, what matter? I'm like, no, and
why do I need to talk to a legal officer? Why just a legal officer? Why can't I talk to someone else that I feel like could settle this for me?
Yeah, it's good. That number will be blocked and that voicemail will be deleted. So yeah, just interesting. My younger sister actually texted me and my other sister in a group text, and she said, "Hey, what are we doing for Mom on Mother's Day?" And you want to hear some of the texts that I texted her, because I try to be funny in these texts. Okay, so she said, "Are we planning on getting together for Mother's Day?" And I responded in the group text, "We can meet up in Salina on Saturday. Take her to the arcade, give her some quarters, and let her go wild. What say you, Teresa?" Which is my younger sister's name. "Or we could just meet up and eat, drink, and be merry with Mom." And my sister responded back, "All sounds good." And then I responded, "Where? What time? Is it suit and tie? Can I bring a date?" And then my sister said, "Where are we meeting and what time?" And then my older sister, who finally got off work, I responded, "Yeah, Tony, when and where? You're the oldest. Make a decision." And then with the laugh emoji. And then I put Teresa down. I said, "Teresa, I bet Tony's thinking bologna on white bread in a park somewhere in Salina." And then my sister replied back, 12:30, the park would be nice. And I said, "Which park?" And then she said a restaurant. And so Saturday, we're meeting in Salina at a restaurant we've never been to. Try something new for Mother's Day. So there we go. So do you get your mom gifts?
First, I got to ask, does your mom like surprises? Is this kind of be surprised, or are you including your mom on the plans?
Oh, it's up to my older sister. She'll either tell her or she won't tell her. So
there you go. So is that kind of like the is that something like a role that's only meant for the oldest sibling? Is there certain things that the oldest sibling does with the parents, or like she does the communicating for you guys with your mom?
She's the oldest, so she's anything that has to deal with responsibility. I think my younger sister and I push it off on her. If you're the oldest, you're the oldest. You were the firstborn. You got everything new when you got it when you were born. Like you were a privileged child as the first child. So your responsibility after that is like when anything that's left like my mom's finances. Tony, take care of it. Until Tony passes away and leaves this earth, she will be in charge of things that Teresa and I tell her to. We're like, "Listen, it's Mother's Day. Get the restaurant, tell us what time to be there, and we'll be there. Get it done, Tony." That's what her job is. She's the oldest. So, because you're not the oldest, are you?
No, I'm the third. I'm the third youngest. But as you're saying this, it just makes me laugh because there's a lot from the first sibling, the duties from the first sibling that were like passed down to the youngest sibling. That's what my family does. Just give it to the next person, because it's actually my little sister is the one that's been making the Mother's Day plans for us.
Well, here's the thing: if you're the first sibling and you come out and you have the dominance over the rest of your siblings, then you can delegate because you're actually scared of the first child. I'm not scared. See, I'm scared of my younger sister, and I'm not scared of Tony. I'm not scared of my older sister. So, but I think she enjoys it, and so we just make her do that.
I love it.
We're like, get it done, get it done. Here's something too. Have you, since the pandemic, have you eaten out with anybody, with friends?
Yeah. Oh yeah. By certain most in the last couple of months, I definitely. But yeah, I've gone to eat out in the last year. How about you?
Okay, I have not. I No friends want to go out and eat with me, so I haven't. I just order pizza in by myself because all my friends never call. So, hey, here's a question I got for you. I saw this and I got to ask Marco this because you live with roommates or you have roommates. You've got a lot of
Hmm.
friends that are close by. When you went out, because it's been such a long time that people haven't been out to eat a lot. How did you pay the bill?
Oh, always split the tabs.
So
I'm sorry.
you guys
Was there multiple choice, or were you asking, or is that a fill in the blank?
no fill in the blank because like do you guys like order and then just split it? Like say there's three of you and you just everybody pays a third, or do you pay your own bill?
Pay your own bill. Tell the server that it's all going to be separate checks. And but if someone does Venmo, then you add up what you ate and put in like $1 or two more for the tax and tax, Venmo convenience, and um, tip. Because assuming that none of my friends carry cash, that the person who's paying for it on their card includes a tip.
It's gotten a lot complicated eating out because of things like that. Because before everybody had cash, or
Yeah.
carried cash around or a checkbook, which you probably don't even know what a checkbook is. But it was a thing where you wrote the name of the business and how much you owed, then you signed your name. That's what a check was, and they were numbered, and you had a little
It
book that
does.
you kept it in.
There's too many numbers on it. The only number I want to see is how much money I'm getting, but then they put what's like a rowdy number? That doesn't even make any sense. Just give me your Venmo name. I don't need to see. That's the new check is Venmo. That's the new way of
Venmo.
giving people checks.
But I just saw that hackers are now finding it getting. I don't know if you want to say easily, but they're starting to hack Venmo and a couple and two other ones too. I saw that come across in a story because I was going to get Venmo and I was like, wait a minute, if hackers are getting into it, I don't think I want to do that. But then hackers can get in anywhere.
That's true. Hackers can get into the StreamYard if they wanted to,
That's
and
true.
mess up this recording. It could be three. It could be three of us instead of two.
Maybe to be more interesting. Then I don't know. Who
Jared,
knows?
I might be at higher risk then because I use Venmo and Cash App and Apple Wallet. For
Do you like Apple Wallet?
I don't use it as much as the other three. I do like it for tickets and whatnot because I have all my, ever since they moved Chiefs games tickets onto mobiles, I have like all my Chiefs tickets that I've been to since I went. Royals tickets, it's that new way of I guess collecting. You can collect your tickets, receipts, all that jazz. So it's cool to look at. It's a fun feature, but I like using Venmo and Cash App before that.
Okay, so people that are watching, we would love to hear from you with our email. Do you think is it? I guess the question is, do you use Venmo or what do you call them, Cash Apps? I don't.
Hmm.
Do people think I should get a Cash App? You can email me, bradleyj@94country.com. Do you think I should get like a Cash App?
I wouldn't be too worried about it right now if you don't have any friends calling you to go get food. Or if you, well, how would you split the check if you went and went out with a friend to dinner? Excuse me, not a food to dinner. You're
Separate,
getting
yeah.
the food at dinner.
I'd get set like you. I'd just say put mine on one check, and that way I'll just pay for mine, and then I'll just put the tip on it. That's what I would do, and then put it
If
on my
there's a,
debit card.
I was gonna say if there's any people that work in the food industry that are watching this, tell us like is that because I've always wondered is that like an inconvenience for the server to tell them, hey, can you do 5 separate tickets, like that kind of thing. I don't know what the I guess the what is it, not
Criteria.
courtesy, yeah, the criteria to courtesy, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
because I've
Okay.
never
So
worked in the food industry.
if you ask them to do separate checks, just give them a bigger tip.
That's how you
You're
can
making
always make up.
Yeah, they're working a little bit harder for you, helping out, making it a convenience, and so you're just like, okay, instead of $5, I'll give you 7.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, speaking of eating, I don't know if you saw this, and I don't know if you're big on following trends or challenges, like a TikTok challenge or something like that. But the hot new trend on social media, Marco, and I hope to goodness you're not doing this because I would never do this. Eating raw meat to get high.
That's a thing.
It's a thing.
I feel like you have to be high to eat raw meat, right? The effects. I don't know. That just doesn't sound right.
No, here's the thing. I'll read it too. The trend is called high meat, and people say that eating old, decomposed, discolored meat with mold and bacteria growing on it makes them feel euphoric, but it could really make you sick if you try it. I wanted to make sure I wanted to put the trend out there for you, ask you the question because you're young, you can be influenced, you can be manipulated, and I was worried about you as a friend, and I was going to make sure that you were not eating meat that is not cooked. That is gross. Don't do it.
No, I am not. But it's funny that you brought that up because my roommate is defrosting ground beef in our sink right now. So I'll make sure that he cooks it before he eats it. I'll ask him after this. I'll make sure. I was like, do you need anyone to talk to about this? Like, are you okay? You doing fine?
Ask him if he's doing the new trend, eating raw meat. You know what's funny? Like I put my hamburger out. I put it in the refrigerator like a couple days out before I'm going to use it. So
that's all right.
Yeah, and so because I know sometimes if I really want hamburger, I will get a plastic container. I'll put it in the sink and I'll get hot water and I'll just like pound it with hot water and leave it because it defrosts pretty quick.
Yes,
but I'm just like
it does.
But it usually is like it's like 3/4 of the way it gets like defrosted or whatever, and like then I put it in the pan and then I just I use a fork. Then I'm just flipping it over because it's a round. So then I'm just flipping it over and like scraping the hamburger off, and then and then it gets there. So
and then you find that where the other 25% is frozen on the inside. I got you. Yeah. I know where you're coming from with that. That's the struggle of cooking. One of the struggles.
I think it's a single guy thing too. You know what I mean? You're just like, okay, I got to get this. I can't wait. I can't wait till it's all the way defrosted. I got to put it in the pan and cook it. And let's go. Let's get this. I need spaghetti and hamburger now.
Or hamburger helper. Got your box of hamburger helper ready.
Oh, I haven't eaten hamburger helper in a while, man. That was always that was a good meal because they had all kinds of different kinds.
Yeah, shout out the cheesy Italian shells. Got me through a lot of nights.
Yeah, a lot of nights after drinking. That's what that hamburger helper is left over. You get home at like 2 or 3 in the morning, then you go and you get a big plate. You just put all of it because you're so hungry. You just put all of it on a plate and you heat it up and it's just like spitting, whatever on the side of your microwave. And you're like, I don't even care. I'll clean it up tomorrow. Just get it out, and then you just start grubbing on it, and you're just like, oh, this is the best thing ever.
No, Bradley, those long nights of study make you hungry. Come on now.
Sure. Those two would work as well. Hey, are you a myth? Do you believe the myths that are told? Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard this myth that we only use 10% of our brain?
I believe it.
Have you heard that myth? Have you heard people say that? Like I've heard
it before, just not not 10%, like an exact number, but I've heard that we don't use our brains to its fullest thing, I guess you could say.
That's something that we believe, right? Okay. There's a survey a while back that found 2/3 of us believe that we only use 10% of our brain. But get this, even with simple tasks, you're still using most of your brain. It takes so much energy that up to 1/5 of the calories you eat go towards keeping your brain working. Think about that. Up to 1/5 of the calories you eat go to making your noggin work. So I wanted to roll down some myths. I want to see if you believe them or if you don't believe them. There are 10 of them, but I'm not going to give you all 10.
Okay.
Here's one. Have you heard this myth, and do you believe it? You swallow 8 spiders a year in your sleep. You believe that?
Yeah, I believed it ever since I was a kid.
It's just an urban legend. As far as
Ah,
as far as anyone can tell, there's no truth to it. So don't. So when you sleep, but it's so funny because you say you swallow spiders when you sleep, but yet we still sleep like soundly. Like you don't even think about that when you go to bed. Somebody you're out and about with your friends, you're like, oh dude, you like a spider can go in your mouth right when you're sleeping, and you're like, oh yeah, man, yeah, I heard that. I haven't done it. It's never happened to me, but it probably happened to a friend of mine. That's
it's not
not true.
it's not scientifically proven then, huh?
No,
I thought.
no, no. Here's another myth. Have you heard this? Coffee stunts your growth.
I have heard that. Yes.
I have too. I've heard all of these that I'm telling you. I've heard all of them. Here's the thing. The main thing that can stunt a kid's growth is poor nutrition.
Hmm.
But coffee and caffeine don't do it. That's a myth. Don't believe it.
All right, I won't.
Here's another. I'm helping you out, man. I'm here for
Well,
you.
no, that's glad. Now I can keep drinking coffee. I don't have to worry
Yes.
about not growing anymore.
Yeah,
I just,
because in case people don't know, Marco and his friend Armand, right?
yeah.
Yeah. They have a podcast that they do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think it starts at like 10 o'clock.
Yep, 10 a.m. Yep.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Check it out. It's called Coffee's On. It's where they're drinking their favorite beverage, which I think you drink coffee every time, right?
Yes, we do drink coffee every time. Could be different types of coffee, though. That's the thing.
All right. Catch them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Coffee's on Facebook. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's pretty interesting. You guys talk a lot of sports, but there's other things that you throw in as well. It's very interesting. I try to catch it when I'm doing my show on 94.5 Country. You guys do it right when my show starts at 9 o'clock, and then all of a sudden I look at Facebook and there's Marco and Armand doing their show, and I'm like, you guys, I can't, but I can go back and watch it. So
That's
I
true.
always do that. Here's another myth. Your dog's mouth is cleaner than your own. Have you heard that one?
Yes, I have heard that one.
Do you believe it?
Yes, I do believe it.
You do believe it? It's also not true.
Here's one I'm surprised at.
Dogs and humans both have around 600 different types of bacteria in their mouth. So right now you have 600 different types of bacteria in your mouth. Plus, we brush our teeth every day. So and a dog doesn't. And you've seen what a dog eats. Sometimes their own poop. So, I mean, how are you figuring their mouth is cleaner than yours?
I've just figured that they had like Mr. Cleans in their mouth that would just clean it after every time they ate something.
Mr. Cleans, I like that. Mr. Cleans in your mouth. I have to make sure I clock out on time.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. So I want to be a good employee.
365. Remember, good person also means being a good employee.
Exactly what it is. So here's my last one. Okay. Public swimming pools have a chemical that turns blue if you pee in them.
Not true. That's a myth.
That's just something parents tell their kids.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't. No. But as a parent, when you become a parent, Marco, the thing is you have to tell your kids that there's a chemical in the pool water that if you pee, it turns it blue. You have to tell them. That's just your job as a parent.
Was this a list of things that parents tell their kids that aren't real?
No, it's 10 tried old myths people still believe. All right.
Interesting. I've never seen the blue dye, though. That's why I only think it's not real. I've never seen it before. And I know there's people peeing in public pools.
Stay out of those pools, man. Stay out of those pools. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Did you have anything you want to talk about before I go to my questions for you?
I've been watching some reality television lately. Do you ever got into any reality shows?
Okay, there's only 2 shows that I've enjoyed watching.
Okay.
One of those is Big Brother, which I still watch today. I think it's funny when somebody starts to go like, "You lied to me, you're a backstabber," and I'm like, pretty much what the show's about. By the way, if you get backstabbed, you're doing something on the show you should be doing. It's because you're lying to people about things to win $1 million. The other one was I fell in love with a girl on like Road Rules. Like it was an MTV show that I watched for a while. I never got into like the Jersey Shore. I never got. I'm not a big fan of reality shows. Just I never have been.
Right.
Um, I do think it's interesting. Somebody had said about a reality show about was it The Bachelor,
Mm-hmm.
and they were saying how was it? Something about like all these women, because the women are vying for the men and throwing themselves at them, and it was just something about the guy kissing all the girls or something like that, or
Oh
I
boy.
don't. Yeah, I don't remember, but really, and then, so really the only reality show I watch is Big Brother to get down to it. So there you go.
I'm glad you said that because I've seen Big Brother on CBS, like the promos for it. I know it's been on CBS for a long time, but
Yeah,
I've never figured out what it is. I know it's a reality type game show, but could you explain it to me in like a minute or 3 minutes? Because I've
yeah.
been always curious what the basis of the show is.
Okay, so you have a bunch of people thrown into a house. They don't see
Uh,
anything that's going on the outside, and they can only go in the house, and then they have a backyard. So what happens is they do a challenge, and then somebody becomes the head of household. The head of household has to nominate two people, okay, and
mm-hmm.
one of those two people is going to get voted out of the house. So what
Wow.
happens with those two people, and then they pick not everyone, they just pick like four or five other people, and the two people who were nominated and the people that were chosen to play, they play a game, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then in that game you can get what's called a veto. And if you get the veto, say that like you're one of the two people that were nominated on the block to go home. If you get that veto, they have to choose another person out of the group of people to take their place, and then they vote in a secret vote. They don't tell you who, they show you, but nobody knows who voted for who. And so
Right.
what happens? Whoever gets the most votes gets out of the house, and then it just dwindles down from there. People make alliances. People lie. People spread rumors about the person, about who they voted for and like who you're going to vote for. And then they have different other, like they have this one where they have a contest, and it'll be like you could win the power of veto, or you could win like $10,000 or a trip. And what's funny is the first person that goes in, they give them this card and they show, and usually it's the veto. So
Mm-hmm.
then everybody else who's vying for the veto. So I mean, it's a fun competition. I think it's fun to watch, and it's kind of cool to see different people like go into the house when they do it. So it's cool, and it gets down to like the final three people. Then that person, there's one person that has like all the power at the end, and then they decide
Whoa.
who they want to go up against and who they think they can beat, because the people, like I think there's like eight people, and they go to this jury house, and those are the
Yeah.
people who vote for the person to be the winner. So it's like the people you kicked out actually vote for someone who kicked them out of the house to be the winner of Big Brother.
Look at that. And that's how it all plays out. So you have to do some, I wouldn't say bad things, but you do have to like be a little evil to win this game then.
A little bit, man. I mean, there are some people that did, they sometimes they'll kind of lay low and lay back, and they'll be like, okay, I'm going to let everybody else. Because if you can get other people to do your dirty work, like
Yeah.
putting people on the block, like you make alliances, like you and I make an alliance, and you win, and I'll be like, hey, Marco, you should put up like Jenny and Roger. It's like because they're getting the strongest. Roger's a strong competitor, so we can get him out early. Then I don't have to do it. And then when it comes up, and I'm trying to lobby, like you and I make the two, you're like, man, Marco, he was taking out people left and right, but that could work to your advantage as well. But what reality show are you watching?
I'm watching the Circle, and it's kind of oddly similar to Big Brother a little bit, except the players don't get to see each other. It's they basically put 10 contestants in a room in an apartment building, and they have this thing, and it's they're in, and they can message each other all through this thing called the Circle. And each contestant's trying to win. Each contestant's going after the grand prize of $100,000. And when you come into the Circle, you create like a profile for yourself, and you can either choose to be yourself, or you can be a catfish, essentially, and be the catfish amongst the group. So, like, there was one guy that was who came in and built a girl profile using pictures of his girlfriend, and so he kind of worked his way to the top through that. But I just finished season 1 of it recently, so but I love reality TV. If I find something I like, I can easily get hooked to it. Like Jersey Shore. I watched that a lot when I was in middle school, and I watched Parental Trap on MTV. Next was another one. So reality TV dating shows, I'm a sucker for.
LBT, baby, Laundry Beach Tan, right? Wasn't
No,
that what?
no, it's laundry. No, it's GTL, Gym Tan Laundry.
Oh, Jim Tan Laundry. That I messed up. Jim Tan Laundry, GTO.
GTL, baby. You get it. See, you know.
I know. I follow pop culture, so I know like all the shows. I just don't watch. It's you can't watch everything because you got other stuff to do. I do want to tell people. Tell us your favorite reality show. Bradley J at 94country.com. Like mine, some MTV Road. There was a girl named Kara, and I just fell in love with her. Man, I follow her on Instagram and different social media. She's cool. She's kind of old school. She loves the vintage clothes and vintage stuff in her house. So when she shows it, it's kind of neat. It's kind of reminds me of like somebody's grandma's house, but she's younger than I am. But it's just so cool to watch her. And she has a little boy that she'll show pictures of every once in a while. So I followed her for a while, and also love Big Brother. So there you go. Email us your favorite reality show and tell us why you watch it at BradleyJ at 94country.com. I'll leave the email address up there. All right, wrapping up the show. Marco, here we go.
Okay.
There's a new study, and I wanted to run this by you and see if you do it. Because when you see somebody yawn, do you yawn?
I have to keep track of that, but yeah, I would think so. I think that's another myth, non-myth, right?
It's just wait. Here's the reason I ask, because seeing someone check their phone makes you check your phone. I think that's true. I think people do that. Like you'll see somebody like, if I check my phone like right now, does it make you want to check your phone?
Yes, as I'm reaching for it out of my pocket right now. I gotta see. It does, because that shows it's like, all right, this person's okay with getting their phone. I think that's something that's like, all right, he's comfortable with pulling out his phone in front of me. We're not going to talk, so I'm just going to do the same thing. You know, no conversation to be had.
That's when you know, like, that kind of does that kind of seem like the person you're talking to is boring? Like you whip out you're just like, Marco's talking. You're like, oh yeah, man. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm telling her to put my phone down. Like that's a sign.
I would say don't do it on a first meet with someone. Don't get on your phone. But if you know the person and and you got a sense of their habits, then it's all right to do it. Okay, I would say. I'd be like, Bradley J's just on his phone.
It's all good. I gotta show you this. Okay, so next question: Do you think it's fashionable to wear Crocs?
Yes.
Anywhere?
Anywhere. It's a fashion statement.
Even like a wedding or a funeral?
I wouldn't. Wedding or funeral is okay if you're one of the people who sits towards the back that was like maybe wasn't invited but was related to the person who got invited, so you kind of have to go. Depends on your role in the funeral and wedding. If you're the person that passed away, then yeah, you can wear Crocs because they don't show from the waist up.
I'm gonna bury you in Crocs. Is what's happening. If I'm alive and you die before me, I'm gonna make sure your mom puts you in Crocs. I'm gonna be like, listen, Marco, that was his wish to me on our podcast that he wanted to be buried wearing Crocs. And we don't want to see his face. We don't want to see his face. We just want to see his feet. That's it. Right there. Okay, last question. I posted this on the 94 Country Facebook page. Interesting responses too. So, Marco, you've been kidnapped. 30 minutes later, your kidnapper dumps you on the street because you won't stop talking about what? You got so annoying talking about a subject that your kidnapper 30 minutes later said, "Get out." What were you talking about?
I'm trying to figure out why you kidnapped me. I'll be like, so what's up, man? Where are we going? I had plans today. You kind of ruined.
I like it.
I would just ask questions. I'd be like, why?
So basically, you'd be a 2-year-old.
Yes, I'd be a 2-year-old.
Where are we going? How fast? Why? What? Are we there yet? Can you hear me now?
Will there be snacks? Can I go to the bathroom? How long do you plan on keeping me so I can let someone know when I'm going to be back?
Nice. I like it. I like it a lot, man. As always, this is the best part of my week right here, talking with Marco
Mm.
and just saying, man. So for mom, are you getting? Last question: are you getting your mom a gift for Mother's Day? Flowers, candy, card. What are you doing?
Something that I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be something that you can definitely buy the day of.
I'm gonna go out and buy my mom some flowers and a card.
That's
And
sweet.
here's a double whammy. My mom's birthday is on the 10th,
Oh, so
so it's the next.
you
It's the
you
next
guys
day.
you guys gotta do something then.
Just on, I always told my mom on her birthday and Mother's Day, fell on the same day one time, and I told her, I said, she goes, well, don't I get a birthday card too? I said, no, you get one or the other. We're celebrating your birthday or Mother's Day. You don't get both. She's like, that's not fair. And I go, well, that's the way it is, Mom. But I get her. I love my mom so much. Like, I really appreciate her and everything that she does. Same with my dad. And I love seeing my mom. And my mom lets me get away with saying those kinds of things because she knows I'm kidding. And she gets my sense of humor, and she has the same sense of humor. That way. So I want people to know that I do love my mom. I appreciate her much. And I know Marco, he does the same thing because he's always talking about his mom when we're around. And we're always saying, we're giving our moms jab, but our moms can take it because they are strong women, right?
Damn right. Yes.
Which made us good men. So there you go.
I figured that out when my mom gave me a left hook one time. That's a joke. Dude, that's a joke.
My mom had my sisters. My sisters held me down, and my mom tried to pull a tooth out of my mouth, and I threw them all off of me and tore out of the house. And they didn't get the tooth pulled. Yeah, I didn't want it pulled, man. I was like, get up, stop it. So they gang up on me every once in a while. It's not a cool thing, Marco. I have 3 women to deal with on Sunday, Marco. So wish me luck.
I will. You are ratioed out. You are ratioed, man.
There you go. All right, man. Have a good rest of the week, and we'll talk again next week.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Just saying.
Peace.